We would like to welcome you here tonight for the National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. I would like to take a minute to introduce the people sitting before you on stage tonight. Pawlak, our National Honor Society President, Brianna, Vice President, Victoria Feist, National Honor Society Secretary, and myself, Nour, Gafsi, the National Honor Society Treasurer. Mrs. Sisti, Mr. Bowe are our advisors, our principal, Mrs. Donahue, our assistant principals, Mr. Busick, Mr. McCauley, and Mrs. Earl, and Rich Pang, our piano. Today, our program is devoted to an explanation of the underlying principles of the Honor Society, and to a simple but impressive ritual of induction for the newly selected members. Students who excel in scholarship may be selected into membership, provided they measure up to the remaining 3 pillars of this organization. They are leadership, service, and character. During this evening's program, parents are welcome to take photos at any given time. At this time, I would ask that Brianna come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you all please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, Nour will be giving us a brief history of the National Honor Society.
What is the National Honor Society? The National Honor Society, or NHS, is the nation's premier organization established to recognize outstanding high school students. More than just the honor roll, NHS serves to honor those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. These 4 pillars have been associated with membership in the organization since its beginnings in 1921. In the early 1920s, Edward Reinierson and J.G. Masters astutely recognized that schools across the nation were failing to emphasize and develop traits of leadership, service, and character in the name of athletics and academics. Reinierson and Masters believed all 4 desirable characteristics were simultaneously attainable. Through combined effort and resolution to form the National Honor Society, was passed by the National Association of Secondary School Principal in 1921. This proved to be the first organization whose objectives were to create an enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to render service, to promote worthy leadership, and to encourage the development of character in the nation's secondary school students. Truly, these characteristics are exhibited by each and every inductee and current members in attendance this evening. Today, it is estimated that over 1 million students participating in activities of the NHS and its middle school counterpart, the National Junior Honor Society. National Honor Society chapters are found in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and many United States territories, also Canada. At this time, Paul will discuss the emblem of the National Honor Society and what it symbolizes.
The emblem of the National Honor Society, shown on the pin NHS members receive at their induction ceremony, is the keystone and flaming torch. The keystone bears at its base the letters C, S, L, and S, which stand for the 4 cardinal principles of this organization: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. As the keystone is placed by the builder to hold the perfect arch in perpetual stability, so the structure of your education must be held firm and true to the purposes of life by the virtues represented in this symbol. Scholarship is the power of the mind to dispel ignorance and superstition through scientific investigation of truth. Leadership is the power of personality that blazes the trail for humanity's upward climb. Character, the composite of all the common virtues, sets the seal of righteousness upon every endeavor. Service is a sincere gift from yourself to others. Thus, the keystone symbolizes the high ideals of this society. The flaming torch, from the earliest of times, has been the emblem of knowledge. Unlighted, it has no power to lead or guide. It has no effect until it has been ignited with a vital and beautiful flame. Just so, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the inspiration that are buried within the great treasure books and hidden in our minds remain valueless until, by faithful study, we unlock this mystery. It is the principle of the torch to lead so that others may follow in the light, to keep burning in our school a high ambition for the endearing values of life. The membership of the Horseheads High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of these four pillars, held in high regard by the society. The other officers and I will now review these qualities with the candidates. Brianna will discuss scholarship.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. Excellence in scholarship reveals not only that one's store of knowledge has been increased, but also that the individual has endeavored to make the most of the opportunities at hand. Knowledge is both necessary and useful. It can be acquired in only one way, and that is through diligence and effort. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand the world through opportunities inherent in scholarship and to dispel the limitations of ignorance and fear. Nour will now discuss leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. Those who dare to stand upon their own initiative are the leaders of life. But while leading, they must grow by listening to those who are superior, by heeding the advice of those who are wiser, and by reading and studying the words of those who are more learned. The price of leadership is sacrifice. The willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others, and the willingness to give up on one's own time and personal preference for the sake of others. A great leader is someone whose ability to get other people to follow is linked to the desire to serve others. A great leader has knowledge of which direction should be pursued, and the willingness to put the interests of others first. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a vital charge to each of our members. Victoria will now discuss character.
Character is the positive force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others, giving us our individuality. It is this force of character that guides one through life and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The real student whose character is exposed through his or her personality, works with a purpose, scorns shame, keeps his mind open, and is awake for new ideas. We must be in reality what we wish others to perceive us as. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove that character is more lasting than wealth, fame, or power. discuss service.
Service. Members of the National Honor Society must possess the qualities of leadership, scholarship, and character. But these traits would be of little use if we lack the desire to serve. Service can be described in a variety of ways. It is the striving and abhorring for the benefit of others. In our day-to-day activities, many opportunities arise to help others. Small courtesies delivered today often tend to help develop into major services for tomorrow. Time and time again, it has been proven that the more a person does to help others, and the more he tries to improve his surroundings, the more he will grow and strengthen his character. As a National Honor Society, we are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow. However, it remains with the individual to find for themselves what service can hold for him. And whatever the task, big or small, and whatever the conditions may be, it must always be, do unto others as you would have them unto you. I will now turn the ceremony over to Mrs. Donahue.